Hello! Gen 3. Gen 3, if you didn't know, if I didn't say already, is my favourite generation. Period. It was the first one I did, and it is the last one I plan to do. I just love it. I know more about it than all the other gens as well. Except maybe Gen 7. I played Gen 7 more, I just have more of an attachment to Gen 3 due to nostalgia and bias. But this episode might be slightly longer than the other ones because I like quite a few of the Pokemon. Like, I was looking at the normals here and I was like, yeah, there are some I can eliminate. I was looking at the normals here and I was like, I quite like a good majority of this. So this could take a while, but hopefully not too long. Starting off though, we got our normal types. And there's a good selection here, very good selection. I like the whole Whismur line, I like them quite a lot. Tailo, Zigzagoon, Spinder, Bold Spinder. But if I had to choose one, it would be Spinder. Spinder is a Pokemon that I can't explain my love for it. You just have to understand, or you have to just ignore how much I like it and hope to one day understand. People that like Spinder get it. I like how dizzy and silly and cute he is. Very cute. I don't like the bold one, but that's by the by. And also, it's still got a pretty good shiny itself. So, it's just a cute panda. It's just a funny panda, spinny, dizzy boy. So, yeah, I like it. Fire. Good options here, except for cast form. Not the greatest. Definitely not the greatest cast form. Definitely the worst. Torchic is clearly the cutest. Blaziken is the coolest. But if we're going to go all the way around, Torkoal's my man. Go away, Gen 5. Torkoal's my man. I love Gen 5. Not Gen 5. I'm lagging in my own head. I love Torkoal. Why? He's all smoky, and also he's a tortoise, and I like tortoises, and that's about as far as I can go with that. And here we are, right? At the epitome of hard choices. I know what my favourite Pokemon of all time is. It's Swampert. And he would go in both categories. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to compare my favourite ground type against my favourite water type. And whichever one's the weaker will get replaced by Swampert. Okay? So my favourite ground type, if we're looking at all the ground types here, I've used it in battle more. I've used Flygon in battle more, but Trapinch is my favourite ground type. And now we're going at water types. Walrein I think I like more, and Kyogre I like, but Milotic, very cool. So, which do I prefer of Milotic and Trapinch? It's a big question, It's Trapinch. I'm sorry, Milotic. I love Trapinch, but I love Swampert. Swampert is my favourite Pokemon, period. I'm just going to get this out of the way before we even have to get there. It's not a question. It's my favourite. It's just so cool. And the reason I probably think it's so cool is because it makes the game easy, right? If I wanted a challenge, I'd play as Sceptile. Or if I wanted a challenge, I'd play as anyone but Swampert, pretty much. Because Swampert is busted in Gen 3. If Quagsire was the starter in Gen 3, he would be busted. But that's beside the point. Swampert, it's a fun design. He's badass, and he still gets a bit of cute mixed in there with his tiny little eyeballs and big mustache or whiskers or whatever. He's just a funny fish. I like him. And he would be in ground category if I wasn't trying to repeat anything. But there we go. Swampert is my favourite water type, my favourite Gen 3 Pokemon, and my favourite starter and my favourite Pokemon, period. He fills a lot of categories just by being my favourite. I love him to death, and I would never replace him. Grass. There are quite a few options in grass. Sceptile, Grovyle, quite strong choices. Seedot is cute, Lotad is cute, Shroomish, Roselia, fucking Cacturne, Cacnea, cute, Ludicolo, cool, Tropius, cool. But the winner's got to be Breloom. He's an absolute legend. I love this man. He's a stretchy little kangaroo boy. I can't hate that. I refuse to hate that even. He's adorable and still strong enough to get you through a game. And weirdly enough, I've chosen M&J TV's first fucking team. I've got Swampert, Torkoal and Breloom all next to each other. But there's a reason. They are all good. All three of these could be used on a team, and realistically, enough. That's all you need. Leech Seed, Drain Punch me. Does Breloom learn Drain Punch? Or am I misremembering things? Either way, Grass Fighting, Fire, Water, Ground. 5 types that are all pretty cool and very helpful. So yeah, Breloom, I love him. I love his tiny arms becoming really long. That's all I have to say. Electric, it's mine. I love my boy. I don't like Plusle. I think Electrike looks a bit awkward. And Manectric, as cool as it is, I prefer the Minun's cuteness outweighs Manectric's coolness in my eyes. So that's how that works. Right. There is a powerhouse of arguments in this one category. Definitely between my brain, because Snorunt and Spheal, absolute front runners right now. But I like Regice a lot. And I also like Walrein, but to a lesser extent. So he's out, Castform's out, Glalie out, Celio's out. Celio was the first out, then Castform. But Regice, Spheal, Snorunt. I like all 3 of these. But, I'm going to be honest, these 2 are cuter than Regice is cool, so Regice is out. Snorunt and Spheal. That's the thing, what do you do? What do you do? Because Spheal is in Water type, but Snorunt is not in any other type, and I don't want to get rid of Swampert and then replace Trapinch. So, I am going to just be honest with myself, and I'm going to probably let a lot of people down. My favourite Ice type from Gen 3 is Snorunt, not Spheal. That's all I can say. Hate me in the comments. Go crazy. Fighting type, clear winner for me. Blaziken, as cool as he is not the winner. Breloom is already in grass and wouldn't win anyway. My favourite fighting type from Gen 3 is and has always been Hariyama. He's just so big, and when you have him on your team, you feel so secure in your fighting type. Like everything he can go up against, you don't feel like you could lose. Because he's so imposing and looks so strong and acts strong and has a good attack stat, Hariyama is just a good Pokemon to have. It makes you feel safe, you get it early on, it will be a hard carry on your team through certain parts. You see a Mightyena, boom, fucking dead. You will win that fight. So, Hariyama is awesome, and I love him to death. He is definitely one of my top Gen 3 Pokemon, so think about that. Poison type, not as many cool choices. For me personally, it's between Seviper and Dustox. And you know what? I'm going for Dustox. As bad as Dustox is, I like the design. I like me a moth. So, you know, that's all I have to say about that. Flying. Again, plenty of choices. Plenty of choices. But you gotta pick Rayquaza. This guy's a legend. Literally a legend. But I love him to death. I love him to death. He's cool as hell. Actually, let's look at dragons. I'll give Flygon Dragon. But yeah, Rayquaza's just so cool. Emerald. Clearly Emerald is the superior Gen 3 game. Like, the remakes were good, but it wasn't Emerald. And also, Ruby and Sapphire were also good, but, you know, Emerald. Level 70 Rayquaza before the Elite Four? Fuck off. That's a joke, but also it's really good. He's just a cool serpentine dragon. The lore of him being the trio master and being part of the trio. I don't get it, but whatever. You take what you get, and you're given Rayquaza, and you will appreciate it if you fucking use him. Psychic. There are a lot of choices. The answer is Metagross, but there are a lot of choices. I just really like Metagross. He's cool as hell. Shedinja. Such an odd Pokemon. That's the thing. Gen 3 was the introduction of abilities, and Shedinja was purely to show off what an ability was. AKA, Shedinja is only, like, shown as his ability. Like, it doesn't... When you think Shedinja, you think Wonder Guard. You don't think, oh, that's the Pokemon with a 90 attack stat. You know? You think, yeah, he has Wonder Guard, and he has defense points despite not being able to take any more than one hit. So, yeah, he's just cool, very spooky, very mysterious, very fun. And using it is also pretty cool. My favourite rock type, Aggron. Aggron is a big metal dinosaur. Like how I said with Steelix, big metal snake, big metal anything is good. Big metal dinosaur train, even better. Aggron is probably my favourite steel type. other than maybe Metagross. Steel type was pretty cool. And when we get there, it will be a hard decision to make. Ghost. Sableye. I love this little man to death. I love him to death. If you watch my video about him, you know I like him. But I can't get over him. He's a little goblin that eats rocks in caves. That's so funny. He's just a little goblin, and goblins are very funny, especially in Pokemon. So that's all I have to say about that. Sableye is fucking awesome. I love Sableye, and I try to use him. Even though he sucks ass, I do try to use him. It's unfortunate he sucks so much ass, but I do like him a lot. You know what? We might have to make some switches here, because my favourite dark type is also Sableye. But I think I do like... I like Duskull. I like Mia Duskull. I like Shedinja too, don't get me wrong. But I love Duskull. He's got the funny Sir Daniel face. I pointed this out in the video. In the ranking video of ghosts, I pointed this out. But he's got the Sir Daniel face. The little old man arms behind his back. In the original games, before he became a 3D model, his colours were so good. Like, instead of being that weird light grey, he's this dark grey. Very close to black, but just a bit off. The red eye, phenomenal. I love Duskull, so he's got to go there. Steel. This is a huge problem, because I like every single one of these Pokemon. I like every single one of them. Mawile is Sableye's counterpart, and therefore has respect in that regard, even though it also sucks ass. Aron is cute. Lairon is pretty cool. Aggron, very cool. Beldum, Metang, I mean, they are known as just precursor to Metagross, but they are still very cool. Metagross, obviously badass. Registeel did do the Nazi salute in Gen 5 or 4, but point is, that doesn't count. And Jirachi, very cute, and the weird eye on the belly. So, who am I going to pick? Well, I've got Aggron and Metagross already. So, going by my next pick, it's going to be Registeel. I do really like Registeel, to be fair. It's my favourite Reggie, mainly because Steel is my favourite type. And yeah, he's just cool. He's cool, he likes to explode. I can't hate him for that. But yeah, Fairy, Mawile wins here. Actually, does Mawile win here? It's between Ralts and Mawile. I'm going to give it to Ralts, mainly because Mawile wins here. I like a lot of these Megas. Mega Sceptile, they turn him into a Christmas tree. Mega Blaziken, the fire in the wrists, perfect. Mega Swampert, never skip leg day, but also, if you can look like this, good on you. Mega Gardevoir, should never have been released, mainly for my own sanity and eyes. Mega Sableye, the darn cutest Mega Evolution they ever made. Mega Aggron, Mega Medicham, Mega Manectric, alright. Mega Camera, yeah, there's a lot of good ones here, and these down here are obviously awesome. But for gimmick forms, it goes between Mega Mawile, Mega Sableye, and Mega Banette. Now, I know I didn't give Banette the Ghost one, and I gave it to Sableye. Well, I gave Sableye Dark, but point is, Mawile, really cool, really cool. If this was what Mawile looked like, Ralts would not be there, but unfortunately it isn't. Sableye. It's very cute. The animated trailer where he looks through the gemstone with his giant face, I like that. But you know what? Justice for a ghost type. Banette, the evil spilling out the zips, there being more zips in general, and it having a more functioning shape and being more in proportion, that's good shit. But it's also just really cool, so I gotta give it to Banette. Banette deserves justice for missing out on the ghost type. But also, Duskull is still cuter, so who cares? Legend. Alright, who's my favourite legend? Period. Right. See, I might confuse some people with this, because it's not anywhere else on the list. But to be fair, Entei was not my favourite fire type. And I gotta say, I still have a soft spot for Kyogre. I love Swampert, and Kyogre will never be Swampert, but it is my favourite. It is my favourite. My favourite legend by far. Just because it's so wicked. It's a fucking... Whales are one of my favourite animals that I don't talk about often enough. Regirock is alright, Registeel and Regice are very cool. The Lattes I don't really care about. Deoxys, all of his forms are good in their own way. Shadow Lugia pretty much doesn't count. It was between Jirachi, Rayquaza and Kyogre. I like Groudon, don't get me wrong, I don't like Groudon. I'm not one of those people that's like, I like Kyogre and therefore I must hate Groudon. I was, but I'm not anymore, I've matured. But yeah, I just really like it. Water type funny. That's my guy. Love him to death. So let's have a look at them in their shinies. Shiny Spinda, classic. Torkoal, love it. Swampert, got dicked over a bit by being a water type and doing the classic blue to pink purple. But you take what you get. Breloom, lovely autumn colours. Minun, very nice minty green. Snorunt, the yellow cape becoming that very nice light blue. Love it. Hariyama, the very the lilac. Would you say that's lilac? Point is, badass. Love that shit. Dustox, autumnal. Love it. Trapinch, love it. Rayquaza, fucking hell. These are all good as hell. Actually, I've just realised. Kyogre and Swampert probably the weakest. Duskull's original Sprite shiny being this deep red, love it. Shedinja's kind of weak as well. Rayquaza and Metagross, fucking hell. Awesome as hell. Sableye, Ralts, Flygon, Banette, these are all good, and honestly, it's going to be really hard to pick a favourite. But I think you got to go with Metagross. He is the main guy. So yeah, that's Gen 3 done. I hope you agree with me. And if you don't, I'm biased and I don't care. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.